All right, here is another pick and roll drill. This one is another great drill to replace layup lines, right? So often as coaches with youth basketball teams, we'll throw in layup lines and get the athletes to warm up that way. But we have to think to ourselves, is that teaching a concept, right? We're working on layups, yes, but are we teaching something else while working on those layups? And that is a point that we want to get to as basketball coaches is that we're teaching a skill, we're working on our basics, yes, our fundamentals, yes, but we're also teaching a new skill in there as well for the athletes to continue to improve. And that's what we're going to do with this one. We're going to line up as if we're in a basic layup drill, but we're also going to continue to work on our pick and roll. So as you can see here, we're lined up like we're in a basic layup drill, right? If this was a basic layup drill, this would be our layup line, this would be our rebound line. But that's not exactly what we're doing right now. Okay, we're going to start the basketballs here on the left side if we're going to be working on right hand layups, but because we're going to be doing this through a pick and roll. Okay, so number 4 is going to pass the ball to number 1 through a chest pass. Okay, and as that is done, number 4 is going to sprint over here and they're going to set a screen for number 1. Okay, so they're sprinting over there, setting a screen for number 1. And number 1 is going to rip through and come off that screen nice and tight, and they're going to drive middle. Okay, so number 1 with the basketball, they're coming off that screen. They're doing it nice and tightly. Again, you want to push the idea that we want to bump shoulders with our offensive teammate, our screener, and then we're going to penetrate the middle. And then as that happens, number 4 then is going to roll. So number 4 is rolling to the basket. We're going to hit number 4 with a pass, and then number 4 is going up for the layup. Okay, then we're going to switch lines. So number 1 will come over here. Number 4 will get the rebound, feed it to the basketball line, and then number 4 will come and fill the back of the other line. Okay, so again, with this particular drill, we're working on passing, right? We're working on our basic layups, right? It's a great warm up drill, maybe before games or practices, but we're also working on that pick and roll, right? We're also adding in a skill in there that we want to see. Okay, so again, we'll take a look at it again. Number 5 is going to feed the ball here to number 2. They're going to come over and set that screen here for number 2, right? Number 2 is coming off that screen with the basketball. They're going to penetrate toward the middle of the floor. While that happens, number 5 is going to roll, right? We're going to hit number 5 with a pass. Okay, and then number 5 is going to go up for that layup, and then they will switch lines. Okay, so this is a great one, like I said, to replace your basic layup lines, but also get your athletes working on something.
Okay, so for this basketball drill, we're going to have two lines above the 3 point line. Each line can have 2 to 3 athletes. We want the basketballs in both of these lines. So as we can see, we have a line here, this side on the right side, and a line here on this side on the left side. Now, what we're going to be working on is passing and cutting, right? Passing and cutting. That's going to be, the consistent thing that we're working on here. Okay, so let's say we start this drill with this line on the right side. Now, it's important that this is one of those drills where it's going to be continuous movement, right? It's going to be continuously moving. We're moving. We're moving. There isn't really a lot of stopping here on this play. Okay, so we want to work on passing and cutting, but we also want to work on paint touches. Okay, so we can kind of have this person outside the 3 point line if we're dealing with an older team. If we're dealing with a younger team, you might want to move them in a little bit. Okay, maybe these lines can also move over here a little bit more. Maybe we have them a little bit too wide to start. Okay, so we're going to start with number 1 who has the basketball. And what number 1 is going to do is they're going to drive hard to the basket. Now we want to force the idea of getting a paint touch. Now it depends how high you want to put this wing player. So we put them right here, right? We want to enforce the idea of getting a paint touch, right? That's what we want. If we're working on, continuous movement and continuous motion, and even though this is, kind of a warm up style of a drill, we still want to implement those strategies. Okay, we attack the paint, we force, defensive we force the defense to collapse off of our penetration, and that is how we get the ball moving on a 5-out motion offense. We want to, enforce those principles. So number 1 is going to cut hard to the key, right? They want to get, as close to a paint touch as possible. And then they're going to kick the ball out, and they're just going to run a basic give and go, right? They give to, number 7 in this line, and then they receive the ball back. And then number 1 is going to go up for a layup after receiving the basketball. Okay. Now, as number 1 goes up for that layup, number 7 here is following their pass and they're getting the rebound. Okay. After number one goes up for that layup, they're going to continue moving and then they're going to fill this wing. Okay, number seven gets the rebound. They're dribbling back to the back of the line with the basketball. Okay, ball goes to the front of the line again. And now we run the exact same play, the exact same drill over here on this side of the floor. Number four is going to cut to the basket hard. They're going to get that paint touch, or at least, attempt to get a paint touch. Then we want to, hypothetically, um, you know, have a situation here where the defense would collapse. So we kick it out. Number four continues to cut. They have their hands up for a target looking for the basketball, right? It's a big important thing. We want to even work on the little things, the smaller fundamentals, right? We have our hands up. We look for the basketball. Number one is going to give the ball back to number four. Number four goes up for that layup. Number one is following the pass. Number four continues to move. They fill this side, right? Number one is getting the rebound, and then they're filling the back of this line. So number one comes to the back of this line with the basketball. Basketball's over here now. Now we're reset. So as you can see, it's continuous movement. Number two, right? They're getting that paint touch. They're going to kick the ball out. They're going to look for the ball back. They're going to receive it. Right? Number two is going to go up for the layup. Number four is going to follow their pass. Number two goes up for the layup. Right? They're continuously moving. They're then filling this line. Number four is getting the rebound. They're going to the back of this line. Right? My lines are kind of getting messed up here, but you understand what we're looking at. So overall, we have, our continuous movement, right? We're basically, the whole drill is just steady go, steady go, steady go. We're not really slowing down at all. We're not really stopping. We're continuously moving. So it's achieving one, a warm up, right? We're warming up our team. But also number two, right, we're working on passing and cutting. We're working on, something that will be essential to a continuous movement, to a continuous motion offense, which is we penetrate the defense, we force them to collapse, we kick the ball out, we look for the ball back, we have our hands up for a target, right? It's a continuous movement. And even though, it is just a warm-up drill, it sets the tone for the rest of the practice. It sets the tone for what we want to achieve, which is continuous movement on the offensive end. Hold on one quick second, coaches. Before you go anywhere, I've got a couple free resources waiting for you from the Basketball Coaches Academy that'll take your practices and take your teams to the next level. First off, grab your complete guide to the continuous motion offense, which breaks down exactly how to teach your players to play the game, not just run plays. You'll learn what continuous motion offense really means, proven drills to build it, and how to run a motion offense continuously. We have lots of different things in this guide. We have video demonstrations, we have diagrams, we have descriptions, everything that you would need. If you want your athletes to develop real basketball IQ, this is the starting point. The second item that I have for you is the 5 must-have out-of-bounds plays for all ages. These are game-tested sets that you can run with youth or high school teams. We have baseline out of bounds, we have sideline out of bounds, all free for you. They're simple to teach, tough to guard, and each play includes clear diagrams and coaching points so your team stops wasting possessions. And lastly, I have the practice plan template. This printable practice plan template is the exact layout that I use to organize and plan every practice session. So you can plug in your warm-ups, skill blocks, team drills, and scrimmage notes so you can walk into every gym with a clear plan and zero guesswork. So I have these 3 free items for you. You can claim them using the link in the description. They'll be sent to you right away. Enjoy.